So much for coming tonight. It really means a lot to me, and I think being together at a time when there's lots of difficult things happening in the world is really special. And being in a place that's survived so long, you know, sort of, I think it's just over 300 years that this building's been here. And last night I was here on my own, quite late at night, and it was dark, and you know, I was thinking very much about the people that would have lived here, people that would have come from, you know, many different countries over generations, going right the way back to the Huguenot weavers that would have come here, the Irish weavers, all the different populations that are around in this area. And it's a really great privilege to be exhibiting this work in here. A really interesting space, and there's lots of sort of new things that happen here as well. It's kind of a lot of people are asking me what it is, and it's kind of a centre for sort of activism. For it was created by a woman who was an architect and an activist, and she unfortunately she died, but she left it to a charity, and they run it with some really interesting stuff that goes on. And I've been witness to lots of different people coming and doing really interesting things over the last few days while we've been setting up the exhibition. So it's a really special place to be. And there's other people that I wanted to thank. I don't know if you know a person called The Gentle Author. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he writes books about Spitalfields, and he was the one who told me about this house. And obviously I want to thank the people from the house. And I want to thank Matt Shrub. Is he here? I don't know if Matt's here. But Matt helped me hang the show. And Binnell is helping tonight, so she's in charge of everything, and doing a really great job. So, you know, working with a team that I'm sort of pulling together like this is really special when you're kind of doing everything outside of that on your own. I don't really work in a gallery system for the last few years, so it's kind of doing everything myself. So it's great to have people around me kind of helping me, and people coming to see the work is really special. There's sort of two different sort of sides to the work here. I've sort of divided the rooms up. In that room there's kind of bigger issues of things that have gone on in the last few years that we're all probably quite familiar with, and actually in this painting as well. You know, we've been through a lot. I haven't exhibited my work for a few years, 4 or 5 years, so this is a big thing for me to bring this work out. There's so much to talk about in terms of stories in the work, and so much that I could tell you about. Unfortunately, tonight isn't really the night for that, but I am doing a series of talks, kind of informal tours, if people want to come back, and you could just email me and I'll book you in on those. So that would be really lovely. They're kind of weekends and evenings, and just a chance to kind of get together and talk about that stuff. And learn a bit more about the work, really, and share stories. I think that's really important to me, is that when I meet people in those situations, I have stories that come back to me as well, give me things to think about while I'm working. So that's a really lovely kind of dynamic to this. But you know, I think really it's, for me, the most important thing is about tonight is all those people that the spirits kind of the people that are in this house, and the people that were sort of moulded and shaped by the city, and then in turn shaped the city through the culture that they brought with them. And that's a really special thing, and to kind of bring what I consider my spirits of people that I've kind of borrowed from the streets into that is a very special kind of meeting point for me. And I hope that you pick up on all of that kind of humanity that unites us all, really. So I think that's probably what I wanted to say. Do we need to add anything?
Just if anyone's interested in anything further on any of the pieces in here, come and speak to me, let me know. I'm more than happy to give you further information or anything else. And I would take the time to look. We've got a lot of smaller paintings and drawings dotted around that are really significant, because they make up these bigger pieces, and it's the journey that Ed goes through. So I really encourage you to try to do that if you can this evening, and if not, come back on another day. It's definitely worth it. The other small thing is that if you use the QR code for the raffle ticket and you have an iPhone, it'll work with Chrome but not Safari. But we can take card
I
payments
tried
over
so
there.
hard to work with QR codes and be really professional.
Oh, you didn't become an artist for that, did you?
Tickets and that's what's found.
But there is a Just Giving page, and if you want to later on, if you want to, you know, contribute to that,
Yeah, and it's
buy a
this
ticket,
print here
it's
that we've
print
got
there,
as
and I'll
for the
deliver it and
raffle.
stuff as well. So,
Yeah.
and it's a Whitechapel mission, so you know it's a really important part of that. And some of the people, you know, obviously I paint everyone, so some of those people are in these paintings, I guess. So anyway, just enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you so much for coming, everyone.
Thank you. Fabulous, really fabulous.